Okay. All right. Family, please advise us if we can be heard. Let's do that check first before we get underway. You know what the routine is. You got to have at least 10. We got 14, so it jumped right out there.
Mm, Mine says 6.
Sounds good. Cheryl, Sister Cheryl, thank you so very much for that confirmation. We greatly appreciate it. Greetings, peace and blessings. We are the Mohammeds, the residential tourists. 85 to Africa. We are living in the after, and we, as always, are very much excited to be able to come before you. We are grateful that we are able to come before you. We thank you so very much as we acknowledge you as our subscribers and viewers for tuning in early for most of you and winding down for some of you, depending on your time zone. Either way, we thank you very much. We are grateful and we appreciate you. So now,
So today it's gonna be full. So full hour and a half today.
that's always an hour and a
It's gonna be
half.
full. And we're being vulnerable and we're sharing some of our we're sharing.
We're sharing, and it make it a bit emotional for me as we go along. I don't know, but as I was preparing, I was getting a little emotional.
I don't know.
So we'll see.
I'm all cried out.
Cried.
I'm too tough for all that.
So I don't really shed tears like that.
Mm.
Very seldom. But nonetheless,
But the sisters like my hair.
they like it. I like their hair too. I was like, I thought she left me because she went out early this morning and didn't get back till.
Well, they had
I
to
said, she done
braid
got
my
fly.
brain. They were braiding my brain. They got some eyebrow up in there. It was killing me, but I made
She made it.
it.
She,
I'm in pain, but I made it.
she found her way back. So we're here in Nairobi. I guess we're diving right on in. Do we have any other announcements before we done? Do we have anything that
Well, let's acknowledge the people.
Yeah, okay, let's do
Y'all
that.
know
Let's
Sister
do that.
Cheryl is on.
So, Sister Cheryl, thank you so very much.
The Hebrew Shemites been on since 5:30.
And so has our sister Pauline.
And, oh, Pauline's been on since
Yes.
5:30. Then the Hebrew Shemites. They weren't playing. They were
Yes.
like, I'm on.
So, thank you so very much for being first in line, I guess.
Hey, early bird gets the worm.
The word.
Brother Kenneth is on. Liz is on. Gola Jack says, Salam alaikum. They can hear you.
Walaikum salam.
My sister Natasha is
Sister
on.
Natasha is on.
One day salam.
Awande, salam.
Yeah.
Sister Liz.
Tasha said, come on, microphone.
You see it? You see the
That's the
microphone?
one she gave us?
I
No, she
don't
gave us
know.
that big one.
I had like 5 microphones. I collect microphones.
The microphone and pen collector.
I'm like Rakim, the microphone fiend.
The pen collector.
So good. All right. So okay. Let's see. All right. So those are the ones. So listen, I was.
Noella's on, Maggie's on.
All right, Sister Noella
I'm
and
coming
Sister
in
Maggie.
from Fayetteville, Georgia.
Okay. Listen, we
Fayetteville,
you know we weren't too far from
Yeah, Union City.
we were at the border of Union City and Fayetteville. When I would go to work, I passed by, go through Fayetteville
I
too.
love Fayetteville, especially
Every
the little
morning.
shopping plaza down there.
Yeah.
And going through like the farms and just looking at all the land. Y'all want some land in Georgia? Go get it in Fayetteville.
I think well, so you got Rick Ross who owns
Mhm.
Evander Holyfield's estate, now
Mhm.
old estate. Kanye West, I believe, he purchased land. I think it was in Fayetteville. I'm not sure, but I know Kanye West purchased a
Gladys Knight.
bunch of acres of land. Gladys Knight, you name it.
Yeah,
Yeah, all of them.
yeah, but it's beautiful out there in Fayetteville. So I do miss that a little bit.
That's just my hip hop sister. She can follow me. She understands. That's right.
And Ron Banks says, morning blessings.
Morning blessings to you, brother.
And evening blessings to us. It is 6:05 here in Kenya, 6:05 p.m.
In the evening.
in the evening. And when I tell you, Kenya is so peaceful. Me and Lamont's mom was out today, and we were having dinner or lunch or whatever after we got our hair done, and she said, "This place is so peaceful."
Yeah, Yeah, that's good.
It's very peaceful. She did, yeah. And I was like, it is. And even the parts that's busy, it's still peaceful. There's no cussing and fussing. No, oh, we seen our first,
Not to say,
our first,
we were riding down the street.
they was about to get it. I don't know.
No, he whacked him with the stick.
You have to,
He's like, you better get on, or I'm gonna knock you out.
the first time we seen it in Rwanda, these two guys was kicking each other. And me and Emmy, the driver, we was sitting there cracking up. I said, that's how they fight? They be kicking each other?
I saw some fights.
Yeah, Emmy was like, oh no, they being polite. I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw it real big. You talking about like, yeah, I saw.
But it's refreshing to know that they're gonna duke it out. They ain't gonna pull out no gun.
That's true.
Nobody getting stabbed tonight. You just gonna get a knot on your head.
You get stuck up.
They're gonna learn today. They're gonna get some of that, but they're not gonna get shot. Mm-mm. So, couple recaps. This week has been extremely busy. The relocation services is popping. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. At least
It's a blessing.
and I'm like, I always have to recheck my mind and my like, we're not pushing this, right? We're just saying if you're coming, we can help you. Like, I don't want it. It got scary when we were in Rwanda and everybody was popping up saying, we came because of your videos. And we were like, we don't want to be that one no more. So
We want to be, well, we're cool with that. We just want to make sure that whatever preparations are,
that you've done your research and not just watched our videos.
not even just research, preparation.
Okay.
Yeah, research is one thing.
Yeah, we need
Preparation
to
is-
talk about that. We
yeah,
need
it's
to talk about
Totally
that.
different thing.
So in the relocation services, I'm finding quite a few of us is just doing the flight. I'm trying to get out of here, boom. And there's not a lot of preparation going into it. Financial preparation, planning, studying, none of those type of things are going into it. And it's actually getting me nervous because coming to Africa is not a place where, let's just say in the States, if you fall on hard times, you could go find social services or family services and go get some assistance or something, or go into a shelter or any of those type of things. When you're coming to the continent, you don't have those opportunities to have such a we his mom is watching us, but she has it turned up, so I'm like, why do I hear myself?
Oh, okay, man. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, so you don't have that opportunity to call on assistance of some sort. So we have to really be wise in the planning of relocating. Don't just come like, okay, I got $5,000 saved up. I can get a little $200 apartment and be straight for a year. You can get a $200 apartment and have a place to live for a year, but that don't mean you're going to be straight. That don't mean you're going to be straight because you're coming from a country where you're used to water at any convenience, hot water all the time, power, Wi-Fi always. You're coming from those type of conditions, and in your mind, you're thinking you're going to come and pay $200 a month and keep those same kind of conditions. You're fooling yourself. Now, there's some people that want to come and they want to live.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they want to live below their
Or
means. They
within
want
their
to
means,
live.
however you look at it.
Yeah, they want that feeling. They want to go to just be. They don't want that Wi-Fi. They don't mind your water ain't on for a couple weeks or a week or so or whatever, or they got to carry water from the market. They don't mind that kind of living. You want to go and live off the land. I understand all that, but I'm getting almost unrealistic requests. People emailing me and they're saying, can you find me this and that? And I'm like, no, I don't even want to. I don't even want to set you up for that. Like that's not the relocation services that I'm trying to do. For me, I want you to come and be surprised that you can have the same quality of life, if not better, in Africa. That's what the relocation services is. Anything under that, I really don't even know how to maneuver. I don't even know what to look for or what you're thinking about because I'm not trying to put you in those type of standards. I don't know how. So I'm getting tons of emails every day. I appreciate it. I love it. Know that the services cost, consultation cost. So I'm getting emails, which is a lot, very lengthy emails, but people don't want to pay for the services. That's fine. But hear me say this live. Consultation isn't free. Relocation services are not free. So if you're not prepared to pay for the services, please don't email me. I'm not mean. It's a lot of energy and a lot of time going back and forth, answering questions, and you're not really ready. You're not really trying to do this thing, or you're just not trying to pay, and it's not fair.
So, okay, so you heard it. All right, there it is. So now we have Brother Colin. Mr. Colin, thank you. Always good to see you, sir. And your words of wisdom, always well received, for sure. So yes, that's very important. And Mon Dukes is online. Sister Natasha gives her a shout out. All right. So, family, we are here in Nairobi, and we have been feeling pretty good since we've been here, and we know how that can go. You can get something new or be a part of something new, and your eyes are wide open, and you're giddy and all of that good stuff. And then down the line, things might not be as you anticipated or expected or as they were when you first arrived. Interestingly enough, however, I don't get that feeling.
Because can you?
I don't really get that feeling. I feel like this is what it is what it is.
Yeah, this is real. So this week we went out with a couple from the subscribers that called that they wanted to take us to lunch. I get tongue tied thinking about how crazy and amazing this place is, and they took us to lunch to Oyster Bay.
Oyster Bay. If you're in Nairobi,
Yo,
some of y'all already know. If you don't, man, this place is amazing.
Amazing.
Very
It's
nice
the
ambiance.
most beautiful restaurant. It's like you're in a tropical rainforest of some sort. The food was on, oh my God, y'all.
It was very nice.
I
Very
had
nice ambiance.
the Mexican street corn.
They didn't have Mexican street corn.
I ain't had that since 5 years ago.
Since Atlanta. Yeah, it was really good. They put a little different spin
They
on it.
did. They put some sriracha on it,
was
but
good. It was
man.
really good. So,
And it's these little gems everywhere you go. Every single place that we go to, I'm sitting there like this.
true. But see that. But the part about it, which I think the core of it is that the particular individual who extended himself and both of them had extended themselves. They're reflecting the energy. Like they reflect the energy that exists here in Nairobi. So it's like almost, I guess the best way I can say it, like looking in the mirror almost is like we feel this way, you feel this way. So hey, it's like and even the people we communicate with from day one, the beautiful family that that hosted us temporarily while we transitioned, same thing.
Yeah, he took us to all kinds of little hidden gems.
Oh my gosh.
Man. Oh, it's so much. It's so much to see. Like, I don't even know if you can exhaust all and this is just in the metro area.
You just scratching the surface.
We ain't been nowhere yet. We haven't done anything. So it's amazing. But it's refreshing. It's so refreshing because things that led up to us coming to Africa, even though we talked about it for many years, of course, not many years, but maybe 3-4 years, we started talking about it. But of course, our focus was on Ghana. So I started researching Ghana, started following YouTubers on Ghana.
Before you go there, I wanted to also real quick hold that thought, acknowledge the fact that when we went bowling with the family, we went to Strikes Bowling in Westlands, right? And we were just about finished. We're on our way out. We had played a quick game of air hockey, right? And from out of the blue, I hear Muhammad. Like,
This happens all the
I'm like,
time.
what? And I turn around, and it's a beautiful, beautiful brother, who's a subscriber. I don't know if he's tuned in or not. I don't want to put him out there and say his name, but it was like, I'm gonna tell you what it was like. We never met each other ever, but it was like a family reunion. It was like my long lost, brother that I hadn't seen, or cousin or uncle or whatever I hadn't seen in many years, and we embraced. Man, we talked. He addressed me, and I addressed him like we knew each other. You know, that was, I mean, it was the love. And he had his sons that were visiting. Same thing. We was chopping it up. They left me because we were talking. I mean, they.
But this is all the time.
But it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. So things like that really add to the experience.
We're from Birmingham, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, you still in Birmingham?
Yeah. No, he been here for a while.
So talk about his boys. I was like, you still in Birmingham? You came in Nairobi and you still in Birmingham? What? No.
It's all good. So I had to acknowledge that, brother. And he's a beautiful brother that really did my soul some good. So, all right, we're moving forward. Moving on.
Right.
Let's go.
All right. So we, of course, researched many countries. We were focused on Ghana, and really was reaching out, making connections because we were going to go that route. And at least, I don't know, we were talking about visiting, but we were definitely thinking about moving to Ghana. And all of this was before COVID hit. I mean, this is way before then.
Like, hey, let's go.
Yeah. And then the research kept making us go, I don't know.
But you gotta keep in mind, that if it were just us, maybe we could have braved it just to see.
No.
However, we had the two moms, we had the two girls, right? So our search was, all right, we gotta, it's gotta be accommodating as best as it can be, all the way 360 all the way around. So many things that were very important was kind of a miss. But then there were some things that was just like.
So we stopped the search, and we really didn't talk about it too much anymore. We continue living, continue running the business, continue working, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, COVID really changed the world. It closed my business. It closed America down. Everything that required interaction was shut down. But one thing that didn't stop was murders and police brutality and black on black crime and all kinds of crazy stuff. It actually seemed like it was getting worse. Or it might be because you were forced to sit down and pay attention that you were actually able to see these things. So COVID was a curse for some people, but also a blessing. Because in COVID, a grand exodus happened. And many people, we're learning, not just us, but people took that time and was like, now's the time to get up out of here.
I think though, because we, as you mentioned, we were planning prior to, pre-COVID, and we had picked up a certain level of momentum as COVID came about. We was like, you know what, we don't want to relinquish. We don't want to let that go. And it was still, I don't know, I can't really remember, but nonetheless, we were like, we want to push forward. But it gave us more of a motivation to be like, okay, I think this might be the good time to go, because we don't know what's going down here.
Right.
So
there was a lot of fear of people saying that they're going to be forced to have to get the
B.
Yeah, they're not going to flag us again. Can't say that word. And so we were like, let's just get ready to go. Let's go. We went and we did our final research. And we, of course, you guys know, the last murder, what was it that was just like that's it?
Brother George.
Yeah, that morning.
At that time.
Yeah, that was I remember that morning because I think you had already left for work when I seen it on TV. And I remember, or no, maybe you were there because I think you were like, what's wrong? And I was on the bed screaming in the pillow like it was my own brother. Like it was so much, I'm so freaking tired of this. So much anger, so much frustration. I was screaming in the pillow. I remember it like it was yesterday. I think about it often. And by the end of that day, I was like, why are we still here? And that would not leave my mind. Why are we still here? Why are we still here? I couldn't take it anymore. And I remember telling you what happened, and you were like, what? Yeah, because you were at work, and I remember you doing that. And so from that point on, we were like, it's time to go. And we chose the country that we chose. It ticked all the boxes. There's no regrets. There's no regrets with that. It ticked all the boxes. The moms were excited. We went in the living room and we asked the moms, remember, we were like, would you guys, if we decided we wanted to move to Africa, would you guys come with us? My mom said, yup. His mom said, when? They were ready.
You're ready to go.
They were ready. And he was like, well, we have to go see it first. They're like, why? Let's just go. Like, they didn't even want to wait. I didn't want to wait. But we went, we did our scouting, and we came back. And so he wants to share.
So with that, so that, if you will, symbolically, right? It represents a death in a sense, not a physical, right? And we suffer from a mental, spiritual death as a people, and that the society in America, it's a death society. It's a death society. And so you hear me say, greetings, peace and blessings. We are the Mohammeds, 85 to Africa, living in the after. And we had once did a brief on what does that mean when I say living in the after, in the after. And it just occurred and it came to me because my feeling and my thinking and my thoughts were, yes, we are moving beyond death into life. So let me just share this with you of what I had, and we had, I should say, had actually shared in trying to understand what that means for us living in the after. All right. And we tried to use this as a foundational point as we continue to grow and journey through our exploration through Africa and wherever we might be or go end up. Here we go.
Why do you say we're living in the after?
So it's a new beginning, right? For us, specifically and particularly, it's a new beginning, and you know when you're leaving from the American society, for us, going into a completely different type of society, different cultural experiences that await you, that will help us to broaden our scope. So we're kind of like, not in a negative sense, leaving behind what was, venturing into the beyond, right? Because we as Black people have been confined in our thinking of how far we extend. When I say we, meaning we as Black people, 196,940,000 square miles, right? So it's like embarking on that venture, that journey of being able to go beyond. So we are living in the after of our present way of thinking, and it's, in our minds, in the mindset, this paradise to know, okay, I don't have to accept this current condition or situation. I can go beyond it. So whereas I'm in a society where I feel like I'm dead, the new thought is that, no, I can go beyond this. So I'm resurrected in my thinking and now in my actions. So I'm living in the after life, if you will. So 85 to Africa, we are living in the after.
So real, basic, but it's important. It's interesting, I should say, how it feels as though we've come kind of like full circle, because being here in Nairobi has become a bit of a reminder, has become a revitalization, a rejuvenation, you understand? And it brought back to our, not necessarily our minds, because it was always there, but our spirit, that feeling of, or that possibility of how we could exist moving forward in a way of peace of mind and contentment, if you will. And so it became a renewal. However, when we, as you were beginning to go into, as we were introduced to our coming to our family, coming to the continent, the joy, I mean, it was like pure, I mean, it was great joy. And we were received very, very warmly,
Yeah.
very warmly.
Imagine though, before we leave, we're nervous, we're
Very,
scared, we have our moments. I'm in the bathroom, in the shower, crying. Am I doing the right thing? Are we making a mistake? I'm about to leave my mom, my family, my daughter, our friends, everything that we knew. I'm going through it in my mind. I don't know if you were.
I mean, I was, I didn't really, I didn't get the support from my siblings. But that was mainly because I was taking your moms away, as they thought.
Yeah,
I was taking your moms away. So it was hurtful. It was hurtful. It was, and then uh, my spiritual family community, I was leaving that behind. That's all I really know, to be quite honest with you. And the brotherhood there, we actually we literally went to get the blessing from our regional minister. Shout out to Student Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad.
That was hard for me because I refused to leave Atlanta to go any other state in the world. I didn't want to leave our minister and the sister brotherhood that we had there.
Sure.
We were definitely going to leave to go to another continent. We was like out, but we did get to spend time with them. We did a 30-day countdown. We didn't let nobody know what we were doing. And I tell, when we're doing consultations, I tell you guys that don't tell people what you're doing, because you allow them to put their energy and their thoughts and what they want for you to do and what they think your life should look like on you. And it will drop seeds in your head and stop you right there in your tracks. So we were like, we're not going to do that. We're going to do a 30-day countdown, at which point we will announce to everyone that we are leaving, and then we would invite them to come and fellowship with us and say goodbyes. We had dinners, we had so much love that when it was time to go the day before, I was in the bathroom on the floor, like rocking, like, now I am a Voyager. I do this. I moved to Atlanta by myself with $12 in my pocket and had a job, but we weren't getting paid for 3 weeks. So I had $12. I do this, right? But a whole nother continent, that was some scary stuff. So fortunately, and this is what's so important, because now you're going into an unknown place. And a lot of people just jump and do it. They do it on their own. They just jump and do it. And they feel alone and they feel confused and they don't have a clue how to make things happen, how to make the stuff work. And fortunately, when we first came and visited, we had met with, at that time, was a great, great, great reassurance. And because of what they did for us is how and why we created, our services.
Oh yes. So let's share with you, those that may have not seen it. Let's share with you what we're able to briefly record on that day when we arrived, and how we were received, and how it set the pace and the tone for us, not just being in Rwanda, but even up until this point where we are right now. So allow me please to share that with you. And here we go.
You're calling me to the world.
Hello.
Look what she got me.
I'm happy to see her.
I want to give this to you.
The whole family.
Oh my God.
It's so beautiful. Welcome to the motherland.
You're so beautiful. You brought me flowers. I'm supposed to give you flowers. Oh, wow. They're like, what? You're crying. I'm supposed to cry. Look what she brought us. Aww. And we love fresh flowers. But these are her favorite flower, roses.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna give you the, hold on to the roses. That's our first flowers for the house.
Turn this up. Let me hug auntie. Sister. Yes. It is good to be here. Good to see you again. We're ready. We're ready. Thank you so much.
So that was a very, even now, just, anytime that I look at that, I really get very teary and get emotional, looking at that. And because the feeling, it never goes away. It doesn't leave. And there was a lot of joy. And as my wife said, that provided for us a level of reassurance, not really knowing or realizing at the moment, or that at that moment, that it would carry through with us and carry us through even to this time. So, Auntie was definitely a blessing, truly was a blessing. And we enjoyed her while we could. We really enjoyed her while we could. And she still is held very great, we hold her dearly in our hearts. And as we were continuing on in our experience in Rwanda, unfortunately, not to go far into it, she fell off. We don't know why. We don't know what happened. I mean, like, when I say, literally, she just fell off. One day we were just waiting for her.
Right when we had another shutdown. But with that though, I realized later on, actually when we were leaving, it's almost as if she was an angel.
Right.
It was like
She wasn't supposed to stay.
right. It was like the God used her to come and reassure us and welcome us.
Right.
She was there to help us every step of the way, and then she disappeared.
Literally, like, we're not exaggerating. Like, she.
But then when my mom passed away,
All right.
so stupid, why did you do this? The day that she passed away,
emotional.
she reappears
Right.
out of nowhere. And again, took care of everything, made sure everything was taken care of, and then disappeared.
She did.
And so while we were there and I was angry because she left, and I was like, I got a sister, man. We the same age, same height, same shoe size. Like, we had the same issues and stuff, I was excited. She was my first Rwandan friend and she disappeared. But I understand now in being here in this healing place, healing in Mombasa, coming through my mom passing away, so much was healed in that moment. And again, like an angel, she shows up and handled business, poured into our spirit, and left again. And this time I say I'm grateful.
Yes. And hindsight is 2020. And we reflect, just like with anything or even anyone when we're going through the trials, going through the struggles. You know, we cursing the struggle. You know, we're, you know, all of that good stuff, you know. However, it was necessary. And I think the takeaway is that the journey, look, you got to understand, for us, you know, for every physical, there's a spiritual counterpart. You know, there is an underlying significance and meaning. And I think that is applicable to many, if not all of us throughout the diaspora who have been called to make that journey back to Africa. And on the surface, it's like, I got to get away. I got to get out of this that I'm in. Not realizing that's just the first part of it. Because the journey itself is what we're learning, and what the takeaway we're getting is that the journey is back to self. The journey is back to self, or the journey is to self. And living here for us, you know, we've grown tremendously, mentally and spiritually, and are able now to be able to see some things a little more clearly, in which we have a long ways to go, because this is a lifelong thing. But Rwanda was a necessary. It was very necessary for us to have to go through, to have that actual welcoming. And when I say we were in Rwanda, everything was falling like right in front of us. Almost everything was effortless. We were getting the business, getting our home, anything and everything. It was falling into place. Everything was just lined up. But then the trials and the struggles came.
And just like everything fell into place, everything fell out
Out of order.
And it's fine, because when I think about our journey in Rwanda, I really think about how it was for our moms, the network that they had with the community of mamas, the queenagers. My mom had girlfriends that she traveled with and never had before. His mom had homies, road dogs. They look, they ran Rwanda. The mamas ran Rwanda. They had a good time. And for me, our job was completed. My mom leaving put a period on that for me. It was like we were straddled on the fence of, should we leave, should we go, should we close, should we not, all the type of stuff. But when my mom got sick and passed within 2 weeks, that put a period on it for us, and that chapter was closed. And it was time for healing. And it was time for a new chapter, new discoveries. And for me, it was really time for me to learn how to live for me, because I never done that before. You know, I've had my child, I lived for my child. My child had a child, and I lived for her. My mom got sick. Well, my grandmother passed away, and then my mom got sick. So then I brought mom, come on down, 2011, and now I'm living for all three of these women every day. My mom, my daughter, my baby. Then I get married. He's here. My daughter's going to college. But I'm constantly living to make sure that everybody else is straight, everybody else is happy, everybody's good. Now I'm on this journey where I'm like, it's time for me to learn to live. Period. And it's exciting. And Nairobi is so amazing. It's like, I can't even imagine. It's so many things. I think I'm kind of speechless because you showed too much emotional stuff. I'm kind of speechless because the healing process that I went through in Mombasa was beautiful. You know, I had moments and days where I cried 3-4 times a day. And then I don't even know when, at what month, I started to smile again. It had to be looking at monkeys or watching some lizards. All the things that I love, the God kept around me because he knew that this would heal my heart. this will heal my soul. So getting up and taking walks and just seeing monkeys and lizards and butterflies every day was no way in the world I could stay in a dark morning place when I love those things so much. Mombasa was healing. But as you've seen in that last video, Mombasa was killing me.
The heat,
My head looked like it was 20 pounds heavier. I'm just like,
the heat was strangling you. Boy, I'm telling you, you walk out there, that heat will put you in a chokehold.
I can't even talk. I'm just like, And they're used to it. So we're in cool beans. There's no air conditioning. It's just heat. And
Heat on
the
top of the
flies
heat.
trying to come. I'm just like, what are you talking about? I don't even know if I was listening.
She probably wasn't. She
It was
probably
too
wasn't.
hot. My clothes was wet. So again, it was time to finally go and live. And so for me, Nairobi represents life for me. A new life, a life that I've never known. And it's exciting because it's not a life that I'm living for my mom or my grandchild or my daughter or my husband.
Okay.
It's a life that I'm personally choosing for myself. And I love it. And I don't know if I've ever said I love my life, but I love it.
That's an intimate conversation we're gonna have to have. Stay tuned. So I can concur, with that. I've said it in our, intimate conversations segment, and having come here and being here in Nairobi, I don't know what it is. But it's not even important to find out really what it is. But since being in Nairobi, and again, as I mentioned before, Nairobi is a beautiful place. We really enjoy it and what it offers. However, I think what it is that I'm experiencing, what my wife is experiencing, even our family is experiencing, is beyond what Nairobi has to offer, right? Journeying back to self. Is journeying back to self. It affords us to be able to do just that. So being in Nairobi is much like being in Atlanta, which we loved, and where we both, even not even knowing each other, got a foundation of life, of our adult life, our spiritual life, our mental life, all of that. And it brings it full circle, it appears as such. And a renewed, for me, and of course my wife, as she expressed, a renewed uh, life, if you will, because the clarity has come for me. I know what my assignment is. I knew what it was. I tucked it away, but I think that I'm more clear on what my assignment is in life. And being here, I think, is allowing me to be able to fulfill that assignment. So Nairobi's been really good. We've been really enjoying it. We've been really enjoying ourselves.
Yes, I don't know if I've ever felt healthier than I do right now. I'm walking, just active. It's amazing. It's an amazing place. The journey is amazing. And so I think a lot of this we wanted to share because we did take a angle of showing some other things that's happening in other countries, which is happening to us. But we wanted to make sure you understood that doesn't mean we don't love being on the continent. Stuff that happened in the Gambia happens every day in the States. Every day. In a different state, in every state, every day. Like Chicago, New York, they have a death toll per day. And it's us. So don't get afraid thinking, oh no, I come to Africa, I might get killed. Because we heard about a handful of people passing doesn't make it a dangerous continent or country. There's other expats in the Gambia that, like I said, love the Gambia. And we're told it's one of the most peaceful countries in the world.
Right.
So please don't let fear stop you from doing something your heart is desiring to do.
Just like on the flip side of that, going back to Rwanda, you know, I can recall, and I've said these things before, but I recall our first night, or I should say the first time that we were able to go out at night, because when we came to Rwanda, it was curfew. If you wasn't in by 5, it's a wrap. But then as, you know, the COVID situation began to improve, they started, you know, increasing the time. So we got to that point where curfew was about 8 o'clock. So it was nightfall. So just because I had not experienced Kigali at night, I said, I'm just gonna go for a walk, right? So as I exited out the compound through the gate and got to, as soon as I stepped foot on the asphalt, I see a group of Rwandans walking down, and it was about 4 or 5 of them. Immediately, because my conditioned mind, I'm like, okay, you act a fool, I'm gonna act a fool, right? And I prepared myself, just naturally, just instinctively prepared myself for the worst. As I walked past them, they walked past me. They wasn't even thinking about me. They laughing and talking amongst each other or what have you. And I'm like, man, I'm tripping. I'm straight up tripping. Continued up further. As I got further up, there was like no one around until a young lady walking by, crossing my path. And my mind again, it's like, oh my God, I hope that this sister, because there's nobody around, it's just her and I. We're crossing each other's path. I'm like, I hope she don't think I'm gonna do something. She had a purse, she was by herself. Once again, she did not even know I was there. She didn't pay me a lick of attention, nothing. And so, all right, I'm like, okay, let me get myself together. So I keep walking. Now this time I turn a corner, I'm walking down, and it's not as lit. It's pretty dark, but I can see enough that a person is in front of me. And as I'm approaching, I can tell it's a female. So now my mind is, okay, I hope this sister doesn't think I'm gonna come up on her. I don't wanna walk too slow because she think I'm trying to creep up on her. And I don't wanna walk too fast because she think I'm trying to just dive on her or something like that. Again, I walked past her. She didn't flinch, nothing. And I began to really kind of almost tear up because it was foreign to me. It was foreign for me to live in a society where they don't know these dangers.
And they don't call them.
And they don't cause them. It's not even a thought in the mind to hurt somebody just because, to take advantage of. And it really did something to me in a good way, but it made me a bit, you know, sad because I'm like, I lived the life, man, where I had to
be on alert
all the time.
But the other night, it was this loud pow, 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 pow.
Diving.
And I'm like, oh, they shooting. They shooting. My granddaughter comes looking out the window. I'm about to say, get away from the window. You don't go looking out the window when you hear pow, pow, pow. They out there to shoot firecrackers. You know? We were like,
my bad.
Oh, I mean, I'm talking about PTSD. I'm like, wait a minute. They shooting, yo. Money in there looking. I'm like, no, get out the window.
That's not true. She's a suburban child. She don't know. She grew up in the
Oh,
city.
it's like, where they shooting at? She about to get hit.
So listen to this. So love. Oh,
Yeah, I wanted you to read that.
Love in Africa.
Mhm.
Thank you for this particular comment. Thank you for all the comments, by the way. We love the comments. This one here want to draw attention to. My husband and I just arrived here a couple days ago, and the immigration officer asked us how long are we staying, and we said 3 months. She was like, why would you want to be here for 3 months, right? And it's a funny because
They say that to us all the time.
right, like, so it goes back to, I think we did this a couple lives ago. We talked about our experience, you know, with the 38 firm as we were.
Yeah, she's asking why.
And they were like stunned. They were stunned that we have a perspective that we have of Kenya, Nairobi, Mombasa, that we have. It's like, they're like, are y'all talking about the same place? Are we in the same Nairobi? And we were like, listen. And so we had to share with them where we're coming from and that experience. And so they were like, wow, very interesting, because you know as well as we do, America's the great salesman. It sells you on this dream, right? This American dream, but that's not for all of us. Some of us, it's a nightmare. And we just yesterday, we were the Uber driver. This brother talked me from the moment I got in the vehicle to the drop off about how much he wants to come to America. I didn't discourage him, but I had to, of course, balance him out a little bit. You understand? So he can understand that all the hype that you basing your decision on, okay, let me balance you out a little bit so you get there. And he had to bear me witness because he has family that lives there, and they're telling him, listen, slow your roll. It ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Hold on now. You know what I'm saying? So all of that to say is that from what you were saying, sweetie, about the perspectives,
But Love in Africa, I hope you're coming to the event on the 24th, because one thing, as you guys seen the video of our welcoming when Auntie came, I really want people to have that same type of feeling when they come here, when they come to Kenya or Rwanda or any African country. But in our control, if we can give that same type of feeling, because we know what it did for us, it laid the platform for us, it gave us a sense of reassurance that we made a good decision, and that we were wanted. So what we're doing, even with that event on the 24th, to welcome, we have a lot of people coming in this month, a lot of people that's relocating this month, and that's visiting this month to do scouting to see if this is the country for them. So this event is pretty much mimicking the whole euphoria that we had on our first day here. But besides that, it's also more so of, we have people that's going to be there, organizations. Shout out to Treveda, who was actually one of our main sponsors for the event. They're dealing with immigration and the KRA pen and getting you legal fast and inexpensively. They work with hand in hand with the government. We also have, I think it's ABC Bank, that's actually targeting expats to come and invest in the bank and giving you major incentives. There's another company that's going to be coming that's going to be offering grants to expats that are going to invest into the country. And lastly, we got Kia Simmons.
Shout out to Traverse Culture,
who will be there representing the 140 something acres of land that she would have been allotted to help cultivate for expats to come in and build a community.
Not just expats, but both expats and Kenyans alike to be able to have a shared living experience. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, so they are going to be there at the event, but just like what Auntie presented to us, we have a grand welcoming for you guys that are coming. Don't want to talk too much about it, but I'm geeked out. I'm excited about it. And it's going to be memorable. And on top of it, 5-star dining experience in the restaurant that's actually on the campground. And this is at a wellness retreat center, a wellness center. So it's a place of healing.
You need it.
Place of healing. When you first getting off of that plane, you're scared. You shook up a little bit. A lot of us coming with PTSD and didn't even know it. A lot of us coming with a lot of baggage, a lot of anger, a lot of us is afraid. When I got off that plane for the very first time, I was just so grateful that we made it and nothing stopped us. I couldn't believe it. Like, wow, we made it. We made it. To be able to say we made it and come and find your own people there with their arms wide open, welcoming you home to a country, to a continent that is foreign to all of us, but it's our home.
Mm.
So it's so important that people can feel that love and that welcoming and know that you've got people here and together we can make this thing work. We can do it. You know what I'm saying?
We can do it, baby.
We can do it.
We can do it.
Yes. So I'm hoping, guys, if you can show the flyer. All right. If you can show the flyer, get your tickets. We have about 40 seats left. We capped off at 60. Our sponsor was like 60 is the max. So get your tickets. They're only, we say 6,000 key shillings. If you're using World Remit because you're coming in, you're flying in, it's basically like $30.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, about $32,
Roughly,
something like that. And if you're a married couple, it's 10,000 key shillings, 10,000 shillings, which is roughly 60-something dollars for a couple. But get your tickets because it's a day you want to remember. It is. And it's a beginning of many more, hopefully. If we get enough people that are showing interest, that want to keep this going, then this will be the beginning of many more. And real quick, I want to say thank you to Philip. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I don't want to say the last name, but he sent the donation to MPesa.
All right, blessings to you.
Thank you so
very
much.
Appreciate that love offering.
Mhm.
While we're at it, we're going to give a shout out to some folk that dropped in a little late, but nonetheless, they arrived. We got our brother Keenan, reclaiming my identity. Blessings to you and your family. We miss you guys very much. We do.
Oh,
we
yeah.
do. Yes.
They said they were coming. What happened?
Oh, they gonna come. Give them some time. They gotta, Brother Keenan, we know you coming, brother.
You see my sad face?
Sister Patricia, Sister Z, Sister Miriam. All right. Yes. Sister ZZ. I believe it's a sister. Correct me if I'm wrong. Brother David, Gerald Taboo, Kate. Am I saying that right? I hope I am.
Ooh, cartoon.
Yes, welcome. And those others who have not commented that are on, and we can't see who you are, thank you so very, very much. So, okay. I wanted to say something. There was something I wanted to say.
You'll remember. Did you want to show them the flyer while you think?
All right, so I'm going to show you again. We showed it last week. We'll show it again. We'll show it again. I don't know which one it was, but we'll show it again. And that way.
We had to take the music off the flyer because YouTube flagged it.
No, that was the other one.
Really? I thought it was this one.
Not this one.
Okay.
So I don't know which one it was. So let's see. Maybe hope we won't get flagged. If we have to.
We get flagged every time. We just do it.
Okay, so there you have it. That's, a little brief flyer, but there's another one that will be circulating around. Look in the community. It will be posted there, and you're welcome. You're welcome to join. We're hoping that we'll have a family reunion type of vibe.
Mhm.
You understand, networking and be able to have available necessary information that will help you personally and help us all collectively as a community, right? And with that, and baby, you can share better than I can about the society.
Mm-mm. We have to talk to the lady first.
Okay, all right, well, I'm jumping the gun, but it's some good information.
Yeah,
It's some
got a
good
lot
stuff.
going on, and I'm going to deal with that this week.
All right, so it's
We
some
can
good
talk to
stuff.
the lady first, but we are also planning some tours. Black Friday, as well as that Monday, some tours to the historical museum, national. I know I'm jacking it all up. Y'all correct me. Where you see the earliest human remains, but also a particular.
Something like that. Anyway.
also a particular lake where we're going to have a outing slash picnic. I don't know which names people want to say there as well. And then the following on that Monday, we're trying to arrange it with Kia so that we can see the 14 waterfalls in Thika and then head over to the land and see the land that she has been allotted for cultivation for the expats in the community. So we are planning those 2 tours as well as this event. A lot going on. If you guys need help locating Airbnbs, y'all have already been hitting me up. Just hit me up. We have a bunch of them that's sitting there waiting that I have lined up for people. So if you need an Airbnb for that weekend, if you're coming in that Friday, the event is on a Sunday. We do recognize that there's a lot of people that observe Saturday as the Sabbath.
So we wanted to, respect that and give you an opportunity to be able to attend when you can. So,
Yep. All right. So I don't have anything else. Yeah. Anybody have any questions?
Sister Sandra and Sister Noella said, hit the like button.
Sister Sandra, you've been quiet
Sister
today.
Sandra, God voice, thank you so very much. Good to see you.
She been quiet. Sister Cheryl been quiet.
No, they ain't been quiet.
Mm-hmm.
We just been talking a lot. So, family, we wanted to just share with you the journey that we've been experiencing, have experienced thus far, and how Nairobi, what do you mean?
I'm trying to highlight this.
How Nairobi has really let me put this up here. Thank you very much. Jay Shine Randoms, we greatly appreciate the love offering. And looking forward to seeing you. If you're a brother or sister in December, so God willing,
We'll be here.
we'll be here, and God willing, you'll be able to be here as well. And we look forward to it for sure. So we wanted to share this with you guys because it's heartfelt, what we're experiencing, and we feel renewed. And we give thanks and praise to Almighty God, Allah the Most High, for our moment. In the space that we are in, we are grateful and thankful for all of the angels, all of the not so angelic ones
Everyone serves a purpose.
who helped us, who has helped us and helping us along the way. And I guess if we had to round it off, it is from our takeaway is that the journey back to Africa is one part physical in transition, but another part, large in part, spiritual and mental. And, for some it may not happen, but for others it may, as far as it being bumpy. It may be bumpy. It may get bumpy.
But life is fun.
But life is bumpy. You understand? And the beauty of it is when we understand that it's not so much that we're trying to come back home, but we know home is where the heart is. The journey's back to self. We have been made other than ourselves, having lived a life estranged from our true cultural identity, which the foundation of which is on this continent. And as we are returning back to this continent, we have to be reacquainted with ourselves. And so it's a long, ongoing process. We just have to allow ourselves to go through that process. I struggled. I'm not saying I'm completely over the struggle, but I struggled because I didn't understand that it has nothing to do with what's outside of me. It has everything to do with what's within me. And so we wanted to be able to share that, and we continue, by God's grace and His mercy, we continue to move forward. We continue to strive to have great experiences that would be imprinted on our life,
And I think that's the mindset you have to have when you come. look at your new life as an adventure,
Right.
because everything about what you knew before is going to be different. Even how you wake up in the morning and you're used to getting up at such and such time and doing this at that time and this at that time and this at that time. Africa doesn't go like that. Holy poly all day.
Quarter of a time.
Oh my God. We waited for someone to bring us a check for 40 minutes, the bill for 40 minutes. And he's like, no, sit down, 5 minutes. And I'm like, dude, I have to go. We got a life. In my minds, I got to be at the house. We got to come home exactly at 6 o'clock because that's how we are conditioned. But if we actually was conditioned on Africa time, we would be coming on right now.
We just started.
Just started. Hakuna Matata. Don't get mad. This
Well,
is Africa.
You know, respect for time is respect for life, right? So you got to be respectful to time, regardless. So as residential tourists, you understand, you know, we are residents.
Noella,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Noah. I don't know why she's saying something I don't, but thank you very much.
I've been trying, I've been learning, I've been wanting to speak in tongue my whole Muslim life. I would be the first Muslim that could speak in tongue. I almost spoke in tongue right there.
Oh my gosh. So as residential tourists, you know, we are hoping to live a life where we can go through life with adventure and new explorations and new discoveries that take root in self. So right now we're in Africa, you know, and that's what we're going to continue moving forward with. So who knows? We might be somewhere in Iceland somewhere, broadcasting.
We live here though. Don't worry. We
So,
live here.
I guess, you know,
But I do want to go to Iceland and I do
Why
want to do
not?
dog sledding.
we can go to Iceland if we can afford
I
it.
don't know if my bones can take it though.
We go to Iceland and
I want to go to South Africa and snow too.
okay,
And what's the other one? Namibia?
Namibia.
They get snow in Namibia.
It can snow
They
in
have the
Kenya
snow
too.
tube. No, they don't do snow tubing though.
We can bring snow too. We can present. Hey, let's do this. Let's get the trash
You go up on
back.
those mountains in Kenya, you might not come back. You just be the lion in nature. And then what they think, the lion's gonna get you. The land of my people.
Well, family, listen.
So thank you guys for the donations that you guys had sent in last week, that you have done today. Even during the week, I guess people watch the videos and do the super chats. We see everything. We touch everything. We try to respond to everybody. Thank you so much for pouring into us and making what we do valuable, worth it. And if you want the consultation services, only if you're ready, please. Even if you're not ready, but you want some help getting ready, then the consultation services will be good for you. But don't email me if you ain't ready, please. adilahsrelocationservices@gmail.com. Consultation, you ready to relocate and you're serious, hit me up. Let's get the relocation services together. But please give me more than 4 weeks. Y'all are killing me.
Yeah, they're ready to go.
I'm
They're like,
losing
listen,
my mind. We have 3 clients coming in the next 3 weeks. And only one booked a couple months ago. The rest was within last week.
He's like, listen,
So I'm
we gotta
like,
go.
okay. I'm fussing at people. I need y'all to move. Give me more than 4 or 5 weeks, please. But let's make it happen.
So, family, for those of you who are on the other side of the hemisphere, enjoy the rest of your morning, the rest of your day. Those on this side, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a peaceful, blessed evening. And hopefully, God willing, we will see you midway this week. If not, we'll see you next Sunday.
It's 7 o'clock. You want to go for a walk?
We'll go for a walk.
In the dark in
In
Nairobi.
the dark and Nairobi.
To the cafe around the corner.
To the cafe.
Baby.
All right.
I love it.
Thank you for tuning in. Peace and blessings.